All right, everybody. In the interest of everybody's time, I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Welcome to the May meeting of the DuPage ROSC Council. My name is Jared Burton, and I am the ROSC coordinator. Just to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way up front, if everyone could make sure that their microphone is muted, unless you were talking, that'll really help us with cutting down on interruptions like the one that just came on the computer. Secondly, we had promoted today as kind of the kickoff for the RCO meeting, which due to circumstances that are kind of out of our control, we do need to push that back to next month. So the DRCO meeting will be on the tail end of next month's meeting. The next ROSC meeting for us is Wednesday, June 14th. So if you want to stick around at the end of that one next month, that'll be the official kind of kickoff for that. We will also be able to feature our new RCO coordinator. So that it's a good timing. So today just didn't work, but thank you everybody for coming. Anyway, next up, I always remind everybody of this. We are recording today's meeting so we can put it up on our YouTube page. If you've ever missed any of our meetings, the YouTube page is a great way to kind of keep up with what we've been doing. We had a really good presentation recently, a couple weeks ago by Bruce Seawick from College of DuPage on psychedelics and kind of the psychedelic renaissance. Had a lot of great feedback on that, and a lot of people wanted to check it out. If you just get on YouTube and search DuPage ROSC, we got a whole page with all of our meetings up, all of our presentations. And so you should be able to find that. Hang on one second here. I apologize. This is part of this week's theme, which is we're trying to make it work. So I'm presenting off of the computer in my folks' house. My mom has been in the hospital, so I'm out here helping. So I'm doing it out of my dad's office, which is funny because there's all these little interruptions that pop up that I'm not familiar with. So that occasionally happens. But on the plus side, I have been finding all these old pictures of me, and that is probably the best I've ever looked in a suit. So it's funny to be able to kind of find these things. So yeah, so bear with us. So I'm not there. Danny is over there in person for the people who showed up in person. Next month should be back to normal. So yeah, so bear with us if there's some little interruptions and stuff here and there. One thing I did want to start off with though, because we really have not been able to do this in a while, which is I kind of want everybody to go around and just kind of do an actual introduction. Usually I just have people put it in the chat, but sometimes that's a little bit impersonal. And there's some folks who are here for the first time. So I would love for everybody to be able to kind of introduce themselves, just name where you're from, organization if applicable. And so, yeah, that'd be great. I'm kind of going to go by the grid that I have here. So if you could be ready, whenever I call your name, that would be phenomenal. So I'm going to start up there with Kathy.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kathleen. I am a recovery coach currently with Serenity House. I was brought on at the beginning of the DuPage ROSC with Jared to do outreach, and I'm excited about the new DIRCO. So welcome, everyone.
Thanks, Kathy. Neesha, we're going to hear more from you in a bit, but do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, everybody. I'm Neesha Stringfellow. I'm the Executive Director of HLM Recovery 180 with Heartlife Ministries for the Will Grundy County. Thank you.
And Dr. Mary, same thing. We're going to hear from you a little bit more later, but if you could just a quick intro.
Yes, sir. Dr. Mary Roberson, founder and executive director of the Northern Illinois Recovery Community Organization, better known as NIRCO. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. How about Krista Webb?
Hi, I'm Krista Webb. I'm with the DuPage County Health Department on the Community Initiatives team.
Thank you, Krista. Saleha.
Hi, everyone. I'm Saleha Jawade. I don't know why, but I can't get my video to work. But I'm currently with DuPage PADS as a case manager.
Thank you, Saleha. Ben Rudolph.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ben Rudolph here, and I am the Region 2 Technical Assistant for the ROSC programs that are in all the counties that are kind of surrounding the Chicagoland area.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for your help and leadership in this region. I got Mr. Bo next.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Mr. Bo. I am the project manager for the Department of Corrections in Cook County Sheriff's Office. Glad to meet everyone. And this is my first time being on the Zoom, but I think it's my second time overall ever been in attendance with you guys. I'm very honored. Thank you.
Thanks for coming back, Mr. Bo. Donna Renard.
Hi, my name is Donna. I work at Serenity House.
Jennifer Travelli.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Travelli. I'm with Linden Oaks Behavioral Health System, and I do outreach for our eating disorders and our addiction services.
Thanks, Jennifer. Nicole Jansen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole Jansen. I'm a treatment advocate for DuPage County with Recovery Centers of America. We are a substance use disorder treatment provider.
Thanks, Nicole. Good to see you again. I just see Sandra's iPhone. I'm sure that's not your full name, but go for it.
Yeah, no, it's I'm Sandra Cozell. I'm with a Bridgeback and I'm part of the outreach team. It's a pleasure to be back.
Thanks for coming back. Rachel Solomon.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Solomon. I am a treatment placement specialist with Acadia Healthcare.
Thank you. Welcome back. Matt Ashley.
Hello, Matt Ashley here, clinical staff at way back in here in Maywood, Illinois. Happy to be here.
Thanks, Matt. Glad to have you. Cheryl Root.
Hi, everybody. Cheryl Root, the director of Illinois Recovery Corps. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Cheryl, I'm going to be promoting the Recovery Corps in a little bit, so I might have you pop back on just to say a thing or two.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've got Brittany Ringo.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Ringo. I am a business development manager for Streamwood Behavioral Health Hospital. The territory that I do have where I'm president is DuPage County.
Welcome, Brittany. My good friend Richard from the Guild House.
Hey, everybody. My name is Richard Butts. I am one of the residential managers at the Guild House in Blue Island, a men's 3.1 recovery home, also a recovery coach, and a few other things.
Welcome back, Richard. I got Tracy from the Elmhurst Library.
Hello, everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the social services specialist at Elmhurst Public Library. This is my first meeting. I'm also a CADC, so thanks for having me.
Welcome. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Jada Anthony. Looks like you may have an issue, Jada. I'll come back to you at the end, all right? We'll keep going here. Winter Lane. All right, she may have stepped away too. Bob H. Am I really getting 3 in a row who are not ready? All right, we're gonna keep moving. Lisa Bloom, are you there? 4 in a row. All right. Oh, there she goes. I see it.
Hi, Jared. I'm sorry. I was struggling with the unmute.
That's okay.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I'm Lisa Bloom. I'm with Northwestern Medicine Behavioral Health Services, full consumer of addiction treatment at Central DuPage Hospital and a dual program for adolescents in Wheaton at the PHP and IOP level of care. Great to be here.
Thanks, Lisa. Really glad to have you. Amy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Lofaus. I'm the Director of Community Services at Catholic Charities in DuPage.
Welcome, Amy. Kajia? All right, missing that one. Let's see, and then I've got a couple of people up. Dan?
Hey, Jared, Dan Efron from Second Opportunity. Glad to be back. It's been a while. We provide reentry readiness training for those coming out of jails, prisons, or out of addiction.
All right, welcome back, Dan. And then I've got Nettie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm Nettie Smid. I'm an outpatient counselor with Serenity House.
Thanks, Nettie. And then Jada, you want to try again?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Jada Anthony. I'm an admin for HLM Recovery for the Will and Grundy area.
Awesome. Glad to have you. All right, and it looks like I've got a few people in person. Danny, you want to unmute up there and let people introduce themselves?
Sure, we got about 8 people in here. I'll start. I'm Danny. I'm DuPage ROSC Co-Coordinator / Community Mentor Liaison.
I'll go ahead. Hi, everybody. I'm Becky. I'm from Naomi's house. I am a community outreach coordinator. And also recently I started doing some work with I Have a Bean. They're a felony, they hire felonies, they're a felony employee company. And the company is called From Walls to Wages.
Who's next up there?
I am Felicia Maselli. I'm the founder of the LTM Foundation, currently waiting for Louis' Law to pass the House today, and it's going to be done with that process. And I'm a recovery coach at Serenity House.
Thank you, Felicia. Who else is up there?
I'm Alex Brower. I'm from 360 Youth Services in Naperville. I'm an educational vocational coordinator there.
Great. Welcome, Alex.
Scott Kaufman from the DuPage County Health Department here, also representing the NIRCO program and the Behavioral Health Collaborative.
Thank you, Scott. Who else we got up there? I see John.
Hi, John from Northwestern Medicine, Central DuPage Hospital. I am the coordinator for the Chemical Dependency Unit.
Welcome, welcome. Did I miss anybody? I know there's a lot of us.
Me.
Oh, Zoe, how could I forget you? Go
I'm
ahead.
Zoe Hornstein. I'm with Serenity House, Women's House Counselor, and also DuPage ROSC.
All right, thank you. Thank you to everybody for the intros. One of the ways that we really try to keep in touch with each other is through getting together like this. Feel free to put your name and contact info into the chat. One of the best things we've been able to put together through the ROSC is just making connections for things like referrals. Everybody knows somebody who's seeking recovery or a specific type of social service. And a lot of us kind of work in our own little zones, right? And so it's hard to kind of break out and connect with other people. This is such a great and easy way to do it. And I'm going to have Danny come on in just a little bit because he runs our WhatsApp referral group for the ROSC. And I'm going to have him kind of describe that a little bit more. But if you feel comfortable, please, yeah, put your name and contact info in the chat. And then that way we can kind of stay connected with each other. So Danny, if you want, can you pull up the agenda for me? Danny is also being my technical advisor here, which I'm very grateful for. All right, so we're going to go over a few things before we get into stuff, just kind of go over what today's meeting looks like. We're going to kind of preview a couple of upcoming meetings and trainings and events that are coming up through the ROSC here after this. I did mention Danny will pop on shortly to kind of talk about that WhatsApp referral group. It has been popping. I have to tell you, that thing is taken off, and there's a lot of good work being done on it on a daily basis. And then we've got Dr. Mary from NIRCO in Lake County to talk a little bit about their organization. And then Neesha from Heartlife will be following her. We've had a chance, Danny and I, to work with both these women for months now, and the work that they do in their particular areas is really inspiring. And the work that we're able to kind of do as a larger region up here in Northern Illinois is really, really cool. So I'm glad that we have both of them here to talk to us about what they're working on. At the end, we usually leave time for organizational updates. So that's like, you know, what programs are you working on? What events are coming up that you're excited about? Where are there possible collaborations? You know, how can we help out? I do want to leave time for everybody to go through that at the end. So Danny, you can go to the next one. So some things coming up. We do, in addition to the DuPage ROSC Council meetings, also have a monthly presentation series that we do. It's usually on the third Wednesday of every month at 10 a.m. Those are virtual only. And we kind of use that hour to dig in a little bit deeper into all kinds of topics related to substance use and mental health stuff. So in the past year, we've had presentations on, you know, stimulants, cannabis, domestic violence, family, and how it relates to recovery. Last month, Bruce did that great one on psychedelics. This month coming up next week, we have our own Samantha Thean, who's going to be talking to us about PTSD and how that relates to recovery and substance use, and kind of have a larger conversation about trauma-informed care and the real need for that as we look at different types of recovery. So we hope you can make that next week at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. We're always looking for presenters. So if you have something that you're passionate about, do you have a topic or something that you really, really like and feel is important, feel free to reach out to me or Danny, because we would love to have you. And we've had several ROSC members present for us already. So if that's interests you, let us know. You can go to the next one, Dan. Okay, so our next item drive is happening right now. We are doing diapers. So Teen Parent Connection is an amazing organization in DuPage County that kind of caters to young parents. You know, young parenthood is not easy, you know, for anyone, but especially for folks that might also be dealing with substance use and mental health issues. So we really want to try to help out as best we can every few months through the ROSC and now the RCO. We do kind of like an item drive. So previously in the winter, we did winter coats. Last time we did a sock drive as well, which were both super successful. The amount of stuff that you guys were able to donate, I mean, we dropped off probably 10 bags of winter coats to the People's Resource Center. We had a full huge shopping cart full of brand new socks that we donated last time. And so we hope to similarly be able to donate a bunch of good stuff to the Teen Parent Connection. And some of you already have, like we already have a collection that's going up. So we're looking for diapers and we're not picky, but they did mention that size 4, 5, and 6 are usually the most needed and baby wipes. So we're going to kind of, it says second week of May. I'm going to continue this on through the rest of the month. So if that's something you're able to do and donate, we're happy to take a drop off. You can either drop them off at Serenity House or you can reach out to me to make other arrangements. But I'm just so proud of our community for the amount of donations and stuff you've been able to come through with us for. So yeah, we'll run this through the rest of May. If anybody has any questions about it, you can go ahead and reach out to me. Next one, Dan. All right, good event coming up Saturday, June 10th. DuPage County Fairgrounds. So this is a 5K run and a walk. Now this is a collaboration between NAMI DuPage, which is the mental health organization, the prevention leadership team, which kind of focuses on education for youth, as well as Serenity House. So as you can see, there's a few different runs we got going on that day, and new this year, NAMI, Serenity House, and PLT have teamed up for a color run. I don't know if you've ever done a color run. I haven't, but I know they look like a lot of fun. So we would love to have you out. We have a QR code up there if you're interested in registering or becoming a volunteer, but that should be a lot of fun, and it's obviously a really, really important cause. And the PLT, the Prevention Leadership Team, as well as Serenity House, has been doing this amazing work with teen ambassadors. It's just such a wonderful program. So we hope we could see you at that one. Go ahead, Dan. Also, now this is more NIRCO related, but one of the things that we started up was a monthly virtual Narcan training. So this is the third Thursday of every month at 3:30 p.m. We jump on Zoom and do our Narcan presentation. So this is a good way to kind of keep up to date if you haven't had a training in a while, or if you're brand new or you know somebody that's brand new to this stuff and wants to do it, send them our way. We're there every third Thursday at 3:30. You can also reach out to us, or if you know people who need harm reduction materials through that meeting, and we can help get you set up with that. Go ahead, Dan. Now, Cheryl, if you're here, do you want to jump on for a minute and talk a little bit about the positions that are opening up through Recovery Corps? You're muted, Cheryl. I'm sorry.
I'm just talking away, I just want to hear myself, Thanks, Jared. Yeah, we actually opened up applications a few months ago, and we've grown actually from 12 site partners in 21, and this year we're up to 26. So it is so exciting, the growth that's taking place, and just, being able to get folks that are in recovery for the recovery navigator positions. They have to have at least 1 year of uninterrupted time in recovery by the first, by their term start date, which the first round is going to be August 29th. So, of course, Jarrett, you guys have positions open there. You know, we're all across the state. We are all the way up northern Illinois to all the way down to almost Kentucky and then east west. So we're everywhere. So I encourage people to get on the site, and I'll put the link in there too, so you guys have that handy. Just to look for open positions and stuff. But just really, it's a great career pathway towards, you know, folks becoming certified peer specialists as well. I mean, that's really not only our goal to fill up those gaps, but also to help our folks to really get on that pathway and get their journey and their careers started as well. So
Yeah.
thanks always.
Of course, yeah. We are hosting, like we said, both a recovery navigator and a project coordinator in the next session. And I really, really suggest it. If you know somebody that's trying to maybe get a foot in the door and working in this field, they get trained. They obviously are paid through Recovery Corps. And then they also kind of take a look at helping you out with school fees and stuff like that. So it's a good way to get involved. We have 2 positions coming up that you'll be able to work both with DuPage ROSC and also DuPage RCO. So there's a lot of like exciting stuff that you'll be able to do through that. So feel free, Cheryl, yeah, you can put that in the chat, but you can also go to recoverycorps.us and kind of see what's available for you out there. So Danny, you can stop the share. All right, so with all that housekeeping out of the way, I do want to turn it over to our 2 guests today. So as we mentioned in previous meetings, about 6 or 7 months ago, we were asked if we would be interested, meaning DuPage ROSC, if we'd be interested in becoming mentors for some other ROSC in our region, which was, you know, such an honor that they would ask us to do something like that. And I got to tell you, from the work that Danny and I have been able to do with the other ROSC in our region, it is just incredibly inspiring. There is a lot of amazing recovery and recovery communities that are happening just around the corner from us. And even though we're called, you know, DuPage ROSC or Lake County ROSC or Heartlife, whatever the name is, we're all up here in the same region, and recovery doesn't start or stop with a geographic border. And a lot of time there is plenty of crossover, you know, and even though that title of mentor, I got to tell you, I've learned just as much from our guests today than I had probably been able to tell them, but they're just doing amazing work. So I'm glad to have them here. I'm going to start with Dr. Mary Roberson, who's from NIRCO. Dr. Mary is one of my favorite people. I love being able to work with her and, you know, share meetings with her and things like that. So she is from the Lake County ROSC and NIRCO. So I'm going to have her talk a little bit about, just introduce herself, but also talk a little bit about the history of the Lake County ROSC, and then maybe what are some projects that you've been working on or have worked on. Just kind of give us the 411 on Lake County, Dr. Mary. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jared. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. Again, Dr. Mary Roberson, I am the founder and the executive director of the Northern Illinois Recovery Community Organization. And I say that proudly because I was pregnant with the idea of birthing a RCO for many, many years. And I hear, Jared, that you guys are going to be establishing an RCO. So congratulations on that. That's a wonderful thing to do in any area of the state or the country. And I basically started that because I worked for about 25 years in behavioral health, working with the Department of Veteran Affairs, working in the criminal justice systems in our drug courts, veteran courts, and things of that sort. I myself, I'm a person in long-term recovery, and what that basically means is I haven't used any mind or mood altering substances for the past 30 years. And that has afforded me the opportunity to be sitting here in my right mind, talking about the things that we're doing here in Lake County and being a colleague of all the individuals that's on this Hollywood Square. So I started NIRCO because I wanted to embed a recovery community organization here in Lake County. I mean, there's a host of behavioral health organizations, NICASA, Gateway, Lake County Health Department, and then there's also all of these mental health providers and all of the judicial system. But I want to have something available for persons in recovery, and that's how NIRCO was birthed in 2019. 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic came about. And fortunately, we were still able to do some wonderful work with NIRCO, online and some in persons, grief recovery, parenting groups for those in isolation. And then in 2021, we got the opportunity to be funded by the Illinois Department of Human Services, SUPRA, as a ROSC Council. I have been hearing about ROSC Councils from my good friend and colleague, Dora Danza Wright down in Chicago. They have been a ROSC Council for the West Side ROSC Council for many, many years. And she been a mentor of mine, kind of say, hey, Dr. Mary, you should apply for some of the ROSC dollars. And fortunately, we were able to do it. Since that time in January of 2021, we did our kickoff meeting. And one of the things that the state wants you to do is get these sectors together. And I believe there's a list of 10 sectors like behavioral health, mental health, law enforcement, public officials, probation, family members, and on the list. And my experience over the past 20-something years prior to that afforded me the opportunity to get all of these people together and introduce them to the recovery-oriented system of care. Now, I got to tell you, here in Lake County, there's a small snippet of organizations that do recovery support services. But when we started NIRCO and then the ROSC Council, that just kind of highlighted the work that we're doing in the recovery management space. Since that time, we have been having monthly meetings, and similar to what Jared and Danny is doing here, each month we will have somebody come on and talk about what they're doing as it relates to individuals, families, and community partners regarding recovery management, recovery capital, and recovery support services. We also applied for and was granted the authority to be a drug overdose prevention program, meaning that we could get supplies of Narcan and we could train individuals, families, and community partners on the use of Narcan because our overdose rates was increasing here in Lake County, just like Cook County and DuPage County. So we've been doing that. The other thing that we, when we were online with our coaches and the TAs, they started talking about, you know what, you guys should look into libraries and start doing some recovery work in the libraries. So we reached out to our local libraries and we went in and started doing Narcan training as part of our ROSC Council. And that was really, really good because a lot of times people go to libraries and they unfortunately use substances in the bathroom and people were overdosing. So we were able to do that. Most recently, we just got awarded, and I'm very, very proud of this. We've been doing some really good work with the, and I see Mr. Bolt is here from the Cook County Sheriff. We do some work with the probation officers, drug court, veteran court, and mental health court. And we were awarded the esteemed Liberty Bell Award from the Lake County Judicial System for all the work that we've been doing with those particular justice impacted individuals. And all of that came because of the work that we're doing with our ROSC Council. And then lastly, because I want to be able to give time for my colleague, Ms. Stringfellow, to talk. Lastly, we've been connected with Faces and Voices of Recovery. And that's been through the state partnership, just like somebody was on there talking about Recovery Corps. SUPRA has a contract with Faces and Voices of Recovery, and we're pretty excited that we're going to be hosting our Story Has Power messaging training May 25th and 26th right here at our Lake County ROSC Council. And that is so exciting to be able to host national leaders like Faces and Voices of Recovery right here in downtown Waukegan on this corner that we now call Corner of Hope and Opportunity. This corner used to be called a corner of ill repute because there were so many people that was transit. There were so many street workers. There was so many drug and violence going on. But since NIRCO and our ROSC Council has been on this corner, we have redesigned it to be the corner of hope and opportunity. And to have our national partners, Faces and Voices of Recovery, to come in and do that messaging training right here. We're very, very proud of that. Over the last couple of years, we had a couple recovery rallies. that really kind of accentuate the recovery process here. So those are some of the things that we're doing. And then the last thing I'll say is that, we have been hosting recovery galas where we give recovery awards. We give a recovery champion, a recovery advocate, a recovery ally, and that's been phenomenal. And this year we had just got the word, mark your calendars, July 22nd, that Lynetta Albright from formerly of Great Lakes Addiction Treatment and Technology is going to be our keynote speaker. And that's, oh man, I get choked up just thinking it, because she was one of the pioneers, Jared, to bring recovery-oriented system of care, ROSC, to the state of Illinois. And she's going to be the keynote for our second annual gala. So with that being said, I'm so excited about what Lake County is doing. I'm excited about what's happening in Cook County, Will County, DuPage County. Jared, you guys rock, and anything I could do for you and your ROSC Council and your now coming about RCO, please, I'm here. So that's all I have. Thank you. Hey,
Amazing.
Danny, what's up, man?
Dr. Mary, I do have a couple of just follow-up questions
Okay.
about Lake County, because I do feel like every county has its own unique challenges, right? So in your time up there in Lake County, how have you seen things change over the past few years in recovery? And what are the challenges that you're seeing? And I guess the reason I want to ask you that is, how can people get involved? Is there is there crossover where people might be able to get involved and help you with some of the challenges that you're facing up in Lake County?
Okay, so some of the challenges, primarily in the very beginning, the challenge was getting law enforcement involved. You guys heard me talk about that a lot on our monthly collaboratives. And those challenges, fortunately have been addressed, because one of the key attendees of our ROSC Council meeting, Bruce Johnson, he's a former police chief, he retired, and I would always be in his ear, hey, Bruce, I need law enforcement here. Come on, man, y'all arresting these folks, under the influence and, all of that kind of stuff. I need the law enforcement to be on this ROSC Council so they could be educated on the language and the crisis intervention and all of that. So that was one big challenge. So, and the way to tap into it is to get people that's in that sector, and get in their ear and let them know that we need you on that ROSC Council.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And what was the second part of that question, Jared?
Oh, I was just curious, as with all your time in the recovery work you've been doing up in Lake County, how is Lake County unique at all in terms of the recovery scene up there, and how has things kind of changed over the past few years with the work being done?
Yeah, good question. So in Lake County, there's a robust recovery community. There's all of these 12-step groups. There's these MAT groups. There's GA and Family Anonymous and all of that. But I'm gonna speak specifically to the 12-step community, because that's where I kind of grew up. And the challenge in the beginning for the ROSC Council was to get those folks to come on in, into this recovery-oriented system of care work, or this recovery community organization work. The challenge was, oh, you're breaking tradition. Oh, you're, breaking our anonymity and all of those stuff. But because I have a big mouth and I'm very assertive, I, told all my friends that I know who are professionals in this field, hey, we're not trying to break any anonymity or, break a tradition or anything. We're just trying to advocate that recovery works for everybody. You don't have to stay stuck in the basement of a church talking about and nothing wrong with it, don't get me wrong, you're an addict and an alcoholic. You could be on a national stage saying, I'm a person in long-term recovery, and what that means is blah, blah, blah. So that was a big challenge. And, it's still a challenge, because they tend to think that we're trying to move in on the 12-step community, but we're really not. So the way that we just continue to address it is just show up, be authentic, and let them know that, hey, if you have any questions about what we're doing over here, come on in. Don't listen to Joe Blow over there who's teed off because Dr. Mary didn't lend him $5. Come on into the center and find out for yourself what's really going on. So hopefully I answered that question.
You did very well, very well. And you bring up a really important part. I totally forgot to say at the beginning of the meeting what I say every month, which is I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I'm kicking myself for not saying it. So thank you for reminding me, because I think it's important. It's important for us to be able to say that, right? Because like you said, the more that we're able to say that in public spaces and out loud, the more the stigma can be broken down, right? And that's the real key to this thing. So I got about another minute or so. Did anybody have any questions or comments for Dr. Mary before we kick it over to Neesha? All right, well, if you do, we can bring them up at the end here. So Dr. Mary, thank you so much. Would you mind in the chat putting in your website so people can go check that out? I think he's got it pulled up too. I could have him put it in the chat if need be.
I got you.
All right, perfect. So Dr. Mary, thank you again for coming to see us. It's always a pleasure working with you. You make me and Danny's job very easy. Thank you for.
No problem. Thank you.
And now I want to turn to my other favorite person that we work with, which is Neesha Stringfellow, who is from HLM Recovery, which is in Will and Grundy counties. Neesha also hosts a pretty amazing podcast, which I was lucky enough to be a guest on at one point. And the work that they're doing out there is every bit as inspiring. They have a pretty vibrant recovery scene over there. And it has just been a real pleasure getting to know her professionally, but personally too. And every time we're able to touch base and see each other, it's great. And so I'm going to have Neesha kind of give the same rundown. Let us know what's going on with HLM and what are you working on? What are you excited about? And just tell us a little bit about the formation of your ROSC.
Thank you so much, Jared. And Dr. Mary, you are the bomb.com. That's what I'm going to say. She gives me an adrenaline rush to say, I got to do better. I have to do better. But anyway, I am excited. I'm Neesha Stringfellow, the executive director of Heartlife Ministries, as well as the HLM Recovery. We have several branches to Heartlife Ministries, which is a faith-based nonprofit organization. I am going to ask the ability to share my screen, Jared. But I'm gonna tell you when, not yet. I want to kind of like just preface this by saying I sat here listening from beginning to end, and what was so inspiring, I just thought about imagine what we could be. Imagine the amazing opportunity to bring change to people's lives, and not just bring change to people's lives, but bring a change to our own lives, because I believe relationships are not one-sided. I believe that if you know, you're going to give, but you're also receiving something in return. And so I'm grateful for that opportunity. So I thought about the word imagine, and I thought of an acronym for DuPage County, because Jared and Danny and even working with Ben has really gave us encouragement along the way for being a fairly new ROSC and just really wanting to make a difference in the community, which is a large community. Will County is large, and so is Grundy, may be small, but having the both and really not really having the, I'm gonna say the knowledge, because I'll be transparent with everyone. Growing up in a sheltered place, really connecting with the community that try to keep people connected, I guess, if you will, in a healthy manner. I was just unaware of Narcan. I'm just going to be very transparent with you. And I don't think that I'm the only one. I think there's a whole community out here that doesn't understand the need for recovery, because I think we skip steps, and there is a stigma that goes along with it that needs to be stopped. So when I thought about the acronym, I thought about DuPage County being an inspiration, providing M for mentorship. They always are acknowledging and celebrating someone else. Very generous with their time and their talent and their knowledge to really kind of make sure that we are have all the tools we need, and inspirational also because of the fact that, you know, they're they teach us to imagine that we can go further. So I want to say that the excitement I have of the people on the council and just here in this meeting alone, it also gives me, I'm a networker, so it gives me an adrenaline rush as well. And then reminding us that there's a need. So that's the end, reminding us there's a need, and constantly keeping us encouraged to know that we can, and we can grow, we can expand, and we can help others. So I am going to share the screen, but I did want to say that we launched Heartlife Ministries way back in 2000. And so the opportunity to have to experience recovery in a personal level with my own family member, my nephew taking his life, it was probably, it pushed. We had just been afforded the opportunity through IDHS to be able to have the ROSC, and then not even a year later having to experience recovery from a family standpoint of view, and then also just from just family and friends, because we call it family. So we joined the family of DuPage, and you all joined the family of Heartlife, as well as NIRCO. So just excited to be here, to know that sharing your story makes a difference, and being connected. Now, I come from a family of people who have overcome in the areas of different areas of recovery. My grandmother was mentally ill. I have family members who had substance use disorders, but were in recovery for a very long time. And still just fighting the battle every day. Every day is an opportunity for everyone to have some form of recovery. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And just, this is my presentation that I do everywhere. I'm going to probably speed through it a little bit. But the main important thing is at the end, where we want to connect with you, where we want to stay involved and just share a little bit about what we do. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So, of course, everybody knows we're here because of HLM, because of DuPage County, but the word recovery, why is it not going? Hold on one second. And so we know that ROSC is this recovery-oriented system of care. It's a network of community-based services that support and builds on the strengths and resiliencies of individuals, families, communities to achieve recovery and improve health, wellness, and quality of life. And I'm gonna pause there, because the one thing that is so important to me in networking is the fact that we are all here to improve the quality of life, no matter where you are in your life. And so that's important. No one is exempt from that. In our ROSC program, these are the things that we specifically focus on. Of course, the substance use disorder, the mental health, the homelessness, and the unemployment. However, we have not become an RCO yet, and we have not had a lot of the other amazing things you all have going on, but we are looking forward to the future. That's why I said I have an adrenaline rush, because I'm excited that we're growing and we are expanding. So with that being said, one of the things that's so important to us is really tapping into the whole entire community. And so although we are, our program is specifically designed right now for the Will and Grundy County, we get people from all over. And that's why it's so amazing. The whole community is in mind. I always say Heartlife is global. And I love that we've had different speakers down at Super and at when we would go to Chestnut from other states, because it has also allowed me to network and share with other friends and other globally about the ROSC program that I didn't even know existed in other places. So not only are we focused on the community we live in, but it's expanding globally, where people are starting to say, you know what are you all doing? I want to do the same thing. And that way we can have this referral system. That way, if I know someone in Lake County, like I got a call yesterday, and they may not be in the Will Grundy County, I may not be able to provide them, something, but I can say, hey, DuPage County has a Serenity House, So there again, that's what I love, that it's a collaborative. It's not just you're for no more. Is actually, we become a big family of recovery. And I love that. Nobody's in competition. And I love that so much. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is being that safe place, because a lot of times people do not have a safe place to land, and especially with families. And that's something that is where people can feel safe, where they can feel comfortable, and not just to say, come get recovery and then move on. But like Dr. Mary said, to come and realize that not only can you have a safe place, we could build a relationship that's lasting, but hey, you can become a national speaker. You could become the person that comes to say, hey, be transparent. And I love the transparency. I am a faith-based woman. I am a minister also. So I think about the scriptures that says we have overcome through the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So the testimony is what allows people to know they're not alone. It allows them to know that they have an opportunity to be healed and healthy as well. And so there's no big I's or little U's. I always say all roads lead back to the referral. That's my motto in my networking. And so I realize that whatever road you on, it will lead you back to the referral to be able to say, hey, is that a safe place for you? So you want to be that safe place in the community of recovery. And that's one of the things we really strive to do. Of course, like Dr. Mary mentioned, you know, the different places. Now we are tapping into places, and I was encouraged by, I believe her name is Tracy, when she was talking about, she's from the library. Let me tell you something. You know how many libraries I've been to? Well, they were like, they didn't give me the most encouraging times. So I was like, I've already channeled Tracy. Tracy, I need to talk to you because I need to know what we can do to connect. A lot of times people don't, and this is the challenge. I always celebrate the wins, but I celebrate the challenges too, because it lets me know that some people are blinded by the challenge and they think that, you know, that they're exempt or that stigma or whatever the case may be. And I don't care what community you're in, but I love that, you know, when you say you can go to the libraries, I've been to several libraries and I haven't gotten the greatest response, but that's okay. And I know I'm a friendly person, but I do know that doesn't stop me. You keep going because you show up to a DuPage County ROSC Council meeting, and guess what happens? You see somebody that works in the library that can give you the leeway. So never stop showing up. We need people. We just have to go to the right places to find them. And that's what the ROSC is, to show up. You know, that's my thing, show up recovery. We always are looking for volunteers, but we have a plethora of volunteers through the events that we host. And that is causing our network to grow. Every month, there is some type of event organization that we're showing up in places that people have never heard of a ROSC or recovery program. So that part is a good part. And I'm excited about that, but also it has also challenged me by showing up to the different council meetings of where to tap into that we haven't tapped into. And that's also the importance of the community. I think that we want families to connect forever. We want them to build a long-lasting relationship and not just a temporal relationship. I mentioned that before, but that's the key to maintaining. You want to be an eagle, you soar with eagles. You know, you want to remain in recovery, you stick with people that are in recovery and stick with people that have overcome and still overcoming every day. You know, it's a lifetime. It's not something that's a one-time thing. And so, and I'm saying this to people that probably are like, well, we know this already, but you know what? There is such a huge world that doesn't know, that doesn't have no clue. And I can say, you know, except for, you know, different areas of substance use within growing up in my family, I can't say that, you know, it hit me directly, but if it hit my grandmother, it hit me. If it hit my uncle, it hit me. If it hit my brother or sister or my nephew, it hit me. And so helping people understand that is so key. And we always challenge the family, talk to your kids about stuff that they don't know. Yeah, you depend on the schools to give them the tools that they need. But you know what? Real life you need to talk real life to your kids at the appropriate age so that they can understand, because they're introducing a whole lot of other things to our children, probably unbeknownst to us. And so why not introduce to them the area of recovery so they could talk about it from the youngest to the oldest? So how are we doing this? Having our first coach, her name was Nancy Phillips. She introduced us to a program called Celebrate Families, where it's a program that allows us to offer and provide tools that help people make healthy decisions. This is one of the programs. We were excited that Jared and Danny and the DuPage, you know, that we were able to introduce this to them just by us doing it, each one reach one. So it's a great opportunity. Now, everybody's not always excited to jump right in. I think, and I really say this honestly, I really think that when you have an RCO, you have more of a open opportunity because you have more of a community. But because we have a community, we're using what we have. We're sharing it with the people we have. But I know that if you have opportunity, this is a great program, and I know DuPage offers it. We offer it as well. Ours is starting in June. And it's a great opportunity to teach people the things they need while in recovery, or also after overcoming some of the obstacles that they have, then where do they go after that? And a lot of times people, they miss that moment. So Celebrate Families is a great organization. You all can reach out to Jared and Danny for that. Another thing that we provide is love and grief care. Now, this was launched after the loss of my nephew, because where do the people have to go to get the support that they need? Yes, some people recovery goes beyond just the areas of substance use and mental health. But with that, grief can cause people to fall into areas that cause them to be in so much pain that they need the support, that they need the love. And so this is another opportunity. And I encourage anybody to launch something like this, but this is virtual every third Tuesday of the month. I welcome everyone because sometimes people suffer in silence and they really don't have a safe place to go. So that's the other thing that we provide. Now, Jared mentioned Neesha's network. So let me talk a little bit about that. And it's not to toot my own horn, but it is to say that during the pandemic, I'm a hair salon owner and stylist by profession for the last 34 years. The recovery program, ROSC, has got me working pretty hard in Heartlife Ministries. So I am coming from behind the chair as of July 1st. I'm a little excited. It's bittersweet. I'll still co-own my salon, but yeah, that's a tough one. But during the pandemic, when everything was shut down, I had the opportunity to launch Neesha's network. And why I did that, because I wanted to get information out there. And so the reason I even bring this here is because I did have an opportunity to have a conversation, an insightful moment with Jared and with Ben Rudolph. And so I'm looking forward to Danny. But guess what? This month, we're celebrating moms with mental health, but I am looking forward to connecting with some of you. So if you are interested in being a part of my platform where you can share about your organization and what you have going on, this is that opportunity. I'm glad it's surprising to me that the response I got from Jared, I probably got the most views and, and different things talking about recovery. And so I want to continue that. So since I launched it in 2020, I'm just adding a spin on it and really making use of it for recovery. And so you all could go and subscribe to my Neesha's Network, Neesha Stringfellows, neeshasnetwork.com. But also, and I'll share that later, it's not about me, but it's about getting the message out there. And so I want to get the message out there any way I can. And so I'm using my other platforms of business to do that. Okay, and this month we're celebrating moms and their mental health. And lastly, before we turn it back over to Jared, I did want to say that we are doing something. We are doing a Celebrate Families Walkathon, and we're doing it Father's Day weekend. That's Saturday, June 17th, and it's in the morning. It will be in downtown Frankfort, and we'll walk probably to the New Lenox and some other areas, depending upon where people, how far they want to walk. It is a fundraiser, however, and we are doing fundraising so that we can provide more opportunities for Celebrate Families and get the families what they need. So we would love for y'all to come hang out with us June 17th from 7 a.m. to 10. Put your gym shoes on and come on and walk or run, whichever you prefer. And we are definitely looking for sponsors. I was inspired by, I can't remember her name, but I was inspired. Was it Brittany? Anyway, I think it was. I was so inspired by that flyer. I was like, oh my goodness. I went and looked at the site right away. And that's just so encouraging. So anyway, I'm going to stop sharing now. But this is our information for HLM Recovery 180.com. You all can go there and check out us and more about it. But thank you so much, Jared. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for being inspired. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of you on Neesha's Network so I can share about your organization, what you do, and just share your story, because it really does make a world of difference connecting with others, to be inspired, to be able to say, hey, we are all in this together. Show Up Recovery 2023. Is in the making for a holiday weekend after Thanksgiving. And I'm hoping to see all of you all there, as Heartlife will put on our second annual Show Up Recovery Christmas holiday benefit to help those in recovery and celebrate them. Thank you so much, Jared.
Neesha, you're so wonderful. Thank you so much for presenting. I do have like about a minute or two left. If anybody has any questions or comments for either Neesha or Dr. Mary. Does anybody, I'm so happy y'all came out to do this. And again, like Neesha said, you know, it's very inspiring to see the work that's being done across counties, right? And it isn't about DuPage or Lake or Will or Grundy. It's about, you know, Northern Illinois and then the country, you know? So the fact that we all have the uniqueness of our counties and we're all working towards the same goal is pretty inspiring for me too. So does anybody have anything last comments or questions for either of these two ladies?
Thank you, Neesha. You touched my heart. I knew I loved you for some reason. Thank you, woman out the God's own heart. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Dr. Mary.
Thanks, you too. And when I do a follow-up email, I'll make sure I link to both your websites. And if you want to send me flyers, I can send those out too. Thank you again. Before I jump into the organizational updates, I realized I completely skipped over Danny's portion earlier. So Danny had a pretty important part and I totally forgot about him. Danny, I'm sorry. But I'm going to have him pop on here for a minute to talk a little bit about our WhatsApp referral group. So we talk about staying connected and networking and things like that. So Danny's going to talk about what we've been doing and a way that you can get involved in that if you want to do it. So Danny, go ahead.
Sure, no worries. Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to give an update on the WhatsApp referral team. Thanks for everyone who's been a part of it. We are now at 36 members. We just had 2 more join this morning, which is awesome. We've been joined by members from Ascension, Illinois, Naomi's House, and DuPage County Health Department. Over the last month, we provided referrals for sober living, detox and residential treatment services for substance use disorders, weekend programming, PHP, IOP boarding, Spanish-speaking detox and residential services, treatment for a pregnant mother with substance use disorder, and adolescent IOP. So I have 3 examples. I'm just going to share 2 of them really quick in the interest of time. We had a 24-year-old female, 5 months pregnant with Aetna insurance, seeking treatment for crack and meth anywhere but the city. So representatives from Serenity House, Rosecrans, DuPage ROSC, Recovery Centers of America, and Central DuPage Hospital provided resources to Rosecrans, Footprints to Recovery in Elgin, and Gateway Aurora. And the client eventually did make her way to Serenity House for extended residential level of care. Another referral was Adolescent IOP program that takes Aetna PPO located near Lombard. Representatives from Naomi's House, Rogers Behavioral Health, Central DuPage Hospital, Rosecrans, and Linden Oaks provided resources to Abraxas/Woodridge Interventions, Rogers Behavioral Health in Hinsdale, CDH in Wheaton, Rosecrans in Warrenville, and Linden Oaks in both Naperville and Hinsdale. So I'm gonna put in the chat how you can join us. I'll put my email so that way if anybody's interested, send me an email and I can get you on our WhatsApp messenger team.
Thanks, Danny. Danny obviously has been very sick, so thank you for speaking on that, Danny. But yeah, the way that works is it's just a bunch of us who you know, work in the field, but are also just people with lived experience that understood that there was a lot of people kind of falling through the gaps in our counties, right? So like I said earlier, everybody knows somebody that might need some kind of service, and this is a way that we can more quickly connect. So say, you know, a family member says, you know, I got substance use issues. I need to get into detox today. Join our WhatsApp group because we can throw that out there and help each other find the appropriate services for those people. And we have people across counties. This isn't just DuPage. This is, we have people from Kane, Will, you know, you name it, it's cross county. So if you're interested in joining, please reach out to Danny and he'll get you all set up on that. So I've got about 1 or 2 minutes left. So in the interest of time, I do want to just leave it open here for a minute. If anyone here has got any kind of programs, events, collaborations, anything they're working on that they want to mention here in the last couple of minutes, I'm going to open up the floor now. So that includes people in person too. I see Rebecca standing up.
Hi, everybody. I just want to start off by saying I'm a person in long-term recovery as well. Just to, you know, end that stigma a little bit. But the reason why I wanted to get up here and talk, I'm going to make this quick since we only have a couple minutes, is I started working recently with an organization called, or an employment place called I Have a Beam. And he has a 501c3 called From Walls to Wages, which is, he's a company that only hires felons anyways. But what the Walls to Wages is an apprenticeship. So you get paid to go and learn how to be either a barista, a roaster, or a mechanic for like the actual like bun. If you think about like a coffee maker, like you would learn how to go and repair those, right? So basically it's $40,000 worth of training. Essentially, the person can get through the training and make like 60,000 a year, depending on which training it is. There's daily transportation to the training. So that's all provided. It takes about a week to get through the first training. And as soon as they finish like doing their homework and studying, and then when they test out, they get their check. So it's not like, okay, you come to class and you get paid. You actually have to test out, pass the test, and then the test is worth like $500. So if they pass the test, they get a $500 check. So basically what I have here is a flyer. I can give as many people who wants flyers, and you guys can make copies of them. And then Pete is located in downtown Wheaton. He owns and started and founded I Have a Bean, and he roasts his own coffee. He does pretty well there. So if you have any questions or want the copies of the flyers, and I also have an application. So if you have anybody in mind, we want serious inquiries only, because obviously, you know, it's funded through another source and we don't want to have somebody coming in like, you know, half stepping and doesn't really want to do it. You know what I mean? So.
Absolutely. And Rebecca, just make sure you email me and I'll send that flyer out through our end too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca. Anybody else got anything before we end for the day? Listen, if you do, send me your programs or events. I'm happy to share that stuff. I'm sorry, Bo, I saw you unmute. Can I give you the floor for a second? I didn't mean to step on you.
Just real quick, I just want to say I'm very honored to be here. I am so touched by the information that was given. I'm blessed to be here. I feel like a thief in the night because I feel like I'm here listening to all these resources, and I'm just like, okay, didn't know they was doing it like that outside of Cook County. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So I just want to say that I don't even know how I could be of service right now, but I will say this: I'm available with the services and the skills that I do have. That if anyone wants to reach out to me, I am here via Dan Efren, and I'm so I don't see his. I think he's on here.
He was on here earlier. I think he might have stepped off, but yeah.
Okay, but he actually visited the jail here, and we had meetings before. So I just want to say that, you know, whatever, I am a CADC, I'm a behavior specialist, and I do a lot here. I'm project manager, at Cook County Jail for the sheriff. So if my service is ever needed to help you guys out in any way, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm just looking forward to growing with you guys. Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks, Bo. Brittany, I saw you come off mute too.
Yes, Jared, I just wanted to thank you for putting this together, and all of you who have expressed that you guys, you know, are doing the work and you all have had lived experience. I just want to give you all a big shout out. That is extremely brave to do. I have worked in the mental health industry for probably the past 6 years, and I've seen different people from all walks of life. And I want to tell you guys that I'm proud of you all. You all inspired me. Everybody deals with something in some form or way, whether it's mental health and substance abuse. It's just hard to stand up in front of a group of people and say, hey, I battled with this. So I just want to let you all know that the work that you all that are doing right now, you all are impacting people's lives, not just in your community, but who you all have here on this meeting. You all inspire me to be able to speak up for myself and let me, you know, others know that it's okay. You know, so I know it's Mental Health Awareness Month. The stigma runs deep across the whole entire nation, you know, and I just hope that everyone, you know, within this group continues to do work within their fields to address that, because you guys are truly an inspiration. So I just wanted to give you all your kudos, good shout out, and I'm really glad that you're leading this group, and I can't wait to see how it grows.
Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate that. That was very sweet. Anybody else want to come off before we call it a day? I just want to again thank Dr. Mary and Neesha for coming. Wait, Kathy, I see you in the chat. Do you want to come on real quick? Kathy
Sure, real quick.
Is our star graduate. Kathy is our star. Go ahead, Kathy.
My name is Kathleen Hinkes. I am a person with long-term recovery. I am active with Serenity House in ROSC, and I'm also an intern and student at College of DuPage. And I get the platform on May 19th to share my lived experience and my choice of my educational studies to 5,000 people on May 19th. So say a prayer for me, everyone. You know, breaking that stigma and getting vulnerable and having the courage to stand there and own, like, you know, my first life, my second life, it's all interwoven, is powerful. And I do trust the process that my message is going to reach somebody and help somebody to know that they're not alone and those connections matter. So thank you everyone for all the good work you're doing and for the encouragement. And we'll see you next meeting.
We hold
Come
you
back.
up, Kathleen. You go, girl. You got this. Rock it, rock it.
Thank you.
And I will say, if you keep your eyes peeled, Kathy and myself and another person in recovery, Kendall, are actually on some DuPage Health Department fentanyl awareness ads that are going out. So we got the posters recently, and as I said before, if you've never gone into a room and seen your face on a poster, it's very surreal. It's a very weird thing. And Kathy and I are going through that right now, but it's important for us to do that, right? Like, it's important to lend, I guess, authenticity to things like that, because it's those of us who've gone through it, right? And it was important for us to be able to do that. So keep your eyes peeled. You might see some ads with myself or Kathy on there. So in the interest of time, thank you everybody for coming. I'm going to follow up with an email, but I'm going to connect y'all to HLM Recovery and NIRCO and Lake County ROSC. The next ROSC meeting is on Wednesday, June 14th. We hope you can make it. If you have the Zoom login for this one, it's the same one every month. So just hold on to this, and then we will be on the lookout. If you'd like to present for us at any point in time, just let me know. We're pretty open as far as letting people come and talk about what they're doing. So just let us know. Otherwise, we'll have the recording of this up on YouTube, hopefully by the end of the week. So thank you again, y'all.
I have something to say.
You got something to say?
I got something to
Felicia,
say.
go.
I would say it's been a long, hard week here at Serenity House, lots of challenges and things to overcome, and feeling a little drained and tired. This work can, like, you know, get to you sometimes. And I needed this meeting to get all your energy, to recharge and feel better. So thank you, everyone. That was great. I needed you guys when you were there.
Thank you, Felicia. And everybody, I'll hang on here for a couple more minutes if anybody needs anything. Otherwise, have a wonderful afternoon, okay?